All right, welcome back to Around the Pitch, episode 2, where we'll be going over match week 1 of the Premier League and covering some newsworthy stories. I guess just to kick it off, Kai, what stories are we going to be covering today?
Yeah, so today we're going to be going over Neymar's big move to Saudi, the injuries that have happened in the Prem, which have been a lot this last weekend, and then Caicedo and Lavia choosing Chelsea over Liverpool.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I guess to start off, what are your initial thoughts on Neymar to Saudi, Clay?
I don't love it. Just him being 31.
Yeah.
I feel like he could have accomplished so much more in his career. I mean, won Champions League, a few La Ligas. I feel like he just didn't fulfill his potential.
Yeah, I feel like he's just kind of fallen into that what could have been status, similar to a lot of other top Brazilians, right?
His contract is crazy, like a private jet, and I get why guys do it, go to Saudi Arabia, but it's just he didn't quite fulfill his potential, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what she is.
I somewhat agree. I feel like it's kind of a little harsh to say he could have been, because he's won a Champions League, he's scored tons of goals, tons of assists. Even at PSG, even though he was injured a lot of the time, his goals and assists combined were more than the matches he played. He was one of their best players over the past however many years he's been there. I just think but I do agree, he could have done a lot more in his career. I think if he would have stayed at Barca, honestly, he would have gone down as one of the best players to ever play. Because he's that good.
How do you think overall this just affects his legacy in general? Because one Champions League, couple of Ligas, a bunch of French leagues, but it's not really not even a top 5 league anymore.
I think the biggest thing is he didn't win a Ballon d'Or, because the reason he left Barcelona and left Messi was because he wanted to win a Ballon d'Or, kind of be on his own. So I think that kind of hurts him. But at the same time, most of his career, he's going up against Ronaldo and Messi. It's not like Ballon d'Ors are being handed out to everyone else either.
Yeah.
It was Modric. That's it. So, But I do think it definitely hampers it, just because I don't think he's spent enough time at the top. But I think he's just kind of overplaying. I feel like he's at some point he's so famous. He's been doing this since he was 14 years old. I think he's just kind of done. But
I'm also surprised that no teams jumped on it more. Teams in the Prem, it seems like a few rejected him.
Well, how much did he go for? 100? Was it 100 mil again?
I think it was 90 mil
transfer fee or something like that.
It's a lot to ask.
When you're paying 130 for Caicedo, you think Neymar?
Worth 100,
I feel
like plenty of teams would have jumped on that, but
I think a lot of it has to do with just dealing with Neymar. It's not just Neymar the soccer player. You get all this other stuff that comes with it. But he's gonna crush it over there.
Yeah.
So.
Outlook-wise, though, long-term, I feel like it's just going to keep on getting worse and worse, though. So every summer, we're going to have no financial fair play in the Saudi League, and then every summer, we're going to have a couple 100 million bids for new players. It could literally be anyone. You already have Fabinho, who's 29, Neves, who's 26, Neymar, who's 31.
I saw this graphic today, and it was Henderson is the 8th highest paid player in the world, which is ridiculous. He's definitely the decline in his career, but Saudi's going to throw all this money at you. I think it's going to attract a lot of other players, especially those kind of mid-tier players, because they're going to make so much money, and again, it's not they were playing at the top level anyways. So I think it's going to attract a lot of those players as well, which is going to make.
I think it'll overall make European competition slightly worse.
100%, because it's going to take away all the competition. Players from City and things like that, unless they're at the end of their career, probably aren't going to leave.
Yeah.
But it's players at the...
your West Ham, your Bournemouth, all those top players might just send them.
Exactly. And to that middle table just going to be...
Even players like Atletico and stuff like that, or Serie A teams and stuff, I think overall, something's going to have to give. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
No, definitely.
But and I guess now you also have, rumors or small talk about Salah and Alisson both potentially going?
That would be crazy.
Yeah. I really hope just for the Premier League they don't go.
Yeah, that'd be most likely a top 4 team, probably fall very dramatically there.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see Alisson entertaining it a little bit, just because he's a goalkeeper. They just don't get paid very much money, and honestly, I don't think it would affect him too much, with the national team, just because he's still the goalkeeper. Being a goalkeeper is being a goalkeeper anywhere, kind of. But if Salah were to go, first of all, it'd be huge for Liverpool. That'd be a huge loss. But also, that would kind of. His career would
it'll be interesting. Over. I think the only reason I think Alisson won't go is because you have the 2026 World Cup coming, and he has close competition in Ederson. So if he leaves, he's pretty much going to be giving up his starting role in the Brazilian team.
Yeah, people going to Saudi Arabia, it's like, are you going to be selected for international?
I mean, Neymar will.
I mean, he may. I mean, but
I think.
but some of the players like
Southgate.
Yeah, like Neves for Portugal.
just,
he's someone who could.
Yeah,
who I could see not getting selected again.
I guess, but I mean, like Southgate just came out and said that, Henderson's like, why would he not be able to get selected?
Yeah, and then funny enough, Talisca, who had never been selected, just got called up for the.
That's the
Brazilian
thing.
team.
Like at some point, like if you're scoring all these like crazy amount of goals in that league, like you're still scoring goals. Like obviously the leagues, it's not going to be taken to the same levels like the Prem, but I mean,
where do you think the Saudi league slots in now? You think top 10 now?
Top 10 easily.
Yeah,
just based
10.
off the players who've been there.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue it's.
I think you could have Al Nassr beat a lot of Prem teams.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue it's like top 6.
Yeah, I'd say
yeah, we'll see.
7, 8. I'd
Bigger
say,
game ahead of ourselves there.
Yeah,
no, I mean because like
league,
you have what you have like the Bundesliga, the French league, the German league. You have the Prem,
Serie A,
MLS, and then
I don't even think
Saudi's
MLS is MLS what, like 9 right now, 8, 9.
I think the Dutch league.
Dutch league is above,
still better.
Portuguese too.
Yeah, I would agree.
And then I think like right there, I mean, you could argue
it could be close. Yeah,
is the Saudi league player wise better than MLS? Probably.
Maybe. MLS has Messi though.
True.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that kind of covers the Saudi bit.
Yeah.
Don't want to dive in too deep. We could probably talk about that forever.
Yeah.
But next up on the list, we have injuries in the Prem. Obviously, MatchWeek 1 has gone through a lot of significant injuries to a lot of players for some teams who we obviously statted last week on our predictions, and this might see
some changes
for sure. So I guess, Clay, what do you think what's your biggest injury of the week so far? What's your output?
I know obviously De Bruyne went down, but I feel like honestly Mings. It might sound crazy, but I feel like Mings might be the most.
Yeah, no, I mean that game between Villa and Newcastle, I don't think
you saw it change.
Yeah, it changed drastically.
You still have Pau Torres. I mean,
that's true.
He came in and was like he was so good when he came in.
Yeah, he might be better than. Yeah, but if you had Pau Torres and Mings playing, that team would be way better.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, it's a hot take, but that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, no,
I mean, De Bruyne obviously for City, huge miss. I mean, you could argue, obviously that's a bigger miss, but
I mean, and also not necessarily like you're kind of right. Like Mings potentially could be a bigger miss for Villa than De Bruyne's for City, just because of the quality of players they have around. But I also think with De Bruyne's injury, like first of all, like because right now Mings out for like. Probably the rest of the season. With De Bruyne, he probably won't be. So you have to figure out, okay, what do you want to do? You bring players in, but only for 6 months. Like, what does that look like?
You still have a couple days in the transfer window left. They have that Paqueta. Supposedly, they're going to increase that bid, so he could potentially be someone who fits into that spot a little bit. Obviously not a man for man replacement.
Of course, no one can replace De Bruyne, but I think mainly it's going to affect. More so than the whole team in general, it's going to affect Haaland a lot. Because I mean, he probably had like 10 assists to Haaland last season in the Prem
easily.
Haaland can go games without touching the ball, but without De Bruyne, those crosses aren't going to come. So who knows? His goal output might go down a little bit, but it's Haaland.
I think we might see Haaland be more involved in the overall play though.
He could be
if you see him out, because I mean, him at Dortmund and stuff, he was way more involved in the play. He'd like to drop in. Grab, turn, play, go. So we might see a little bit about that. I guess next up on the list for me, another big miss will be Timber. I don't think they've really confirmed if it's a fully torn ACL yet. They said it's an ACL injury. So we'll see. I think even if it's just a very bad sprain, that's going to be at least a couple months. Adding on to the Gabriel Jesus one.
Yeah.
I mean, good enough for Arsenal though. Their backline is the same as last year. He was just a nice addition, so they should be fine.
Yeah,
I just think
he was perfect.
It hurts their depth. I think he was their signing of the summer. I think honestly, as a player, obviously Declan Rice is great, but I think he was a signing of the summer just based on the price they got him for and stuff. Yeah, and that's going to be a big loss. I think
I see that too. But I mean, I think though that's the least impactful out of the three that we just went over. Because I think at Arsenal you still have. I mean, Zinchenko's out. He'll be back soon, though, right? So theoretically, you'll have Zinchenko on the left.
Yeah.
You'll have Saliba and Gabriel still in the middle, and then Ben White on the right with Tomiyasu and Tierney coming off the bench. That's what they had last year, and they almost won
Yeah.
the Prem. So,
But yeah, it's your one center back away injury from going
which
back
is what
to
happened last
Rob
year.
Holding.
Yeah.
So it's back to
Is
square
Holding
one.
even still there?
He is. Yeah.
yeah.
But, I mean, there's bids coming in.
Maybe he
They're
should
all-
go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, they're all.
I
too
would.
low.
I would if I was him. I'd go to Saudi Arabia if I was Holding. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But
But yeah, it's a big miss, and he hurt himself and then played on for like 5 to 10 more minutes,
which makes
I
it seem like
thought
maybe it's not a fully torn ACL.
Yeah, I mean it's a little interesting also by
The way they're
the
saying it.
physios on Arsenal
Yeah,
to let
I
him
feel
play
like with
on.
injuries like the first game of the season, like as soon as I see them go down, like they're coming out of the game. Like it doesn't matter
That's
what the
I
injury
agree,
is. Like
I
I'm
agree.
taking them.
So it was a little strange to me that they let him play on.
Yeah.
Hopefully nothing too serious. I
Well,
mean,
what
it's
makes
gonna
me
be a few
seem
months,
though,
but-
usually knee injuries though, physios do those quick full
Tests.
tear tests,
I get
which
it,
makes
yeah.
which makes me think that it might not be fully torn,
Or he
Yeah.
might have.
or he might have had some
later.
meniscus
Yeah.
issues, something like that,
Yeah.
or who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. I guess on that same kind of trajectory, playing De Bruyne first game of the season
Doesn't make sense.
against Burnley, a
Doesn't
team who
make
just
sense.
got promoted.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
Makes no sense. How are you starting him this game, but you had him come off the bench against Arsenal?
Especially when like you leave like and now, but like then he's been leaving players out as well.
Yeah, you had
Like
Grealish wasn't in.
yeah, it doesn't make sense. And like he only played 15 minutes in the game before, 15-20 minutes in
Yeah.
the game before against Arsenal.
Was
I
Bernardo
just-
Silva even starting that game?
Yeah, he started,
Yeah.
but like it doesn't make sense. Like, the one thing I do think is I think this will be a good opportunity, hopefully, for Foden to play a little bit more through the middle and have a big impact. But
Yeah, but I mean when
It's
when,
De Bruyne. I mean, you
when De
can't-
Bruyne came off though, Foden didn't. He was still out wide, wasn't he?
yeah, because they brought in Kovacic. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do
Especially
there.
when they get fucking.
I mean, I guess if you have Grealish, both Grealish and Foden could theoretically play in the middle. So it'll be something to watch moving forward. Hopefully, we don't get any crazy new injuries coming out.
Yeah.
Those are 3 big losses.
Yeah,
in the
obviously
first
there's
week
probably
of
a
the
couple
season.
more here and there, but I think those are the 3 most significant ones
Yeah.
to top 10 teams. Obviously Arsenal and City specifically, but
Yeah.
I guess jumping on to our final covering of the week, my poor Liverpool. Every
Yeah.
time we're about to sign someone, every single time this happens, but
Todd Bowley just comes in there and grabs him.
it's ridiculous
He's just-
though. How much over? What was it? I think I saw the stat was around
900.
800
Yeah,
to 900
yeah.
million pounds in the last 8 to 12 months. That's absurd.
After
Yeah.
spending that much, you have to be at least challenging for top 4.
No, you have to
Top
be
4.
in the Champions League. There's no excuse.
If you're not,
like,
you it's a failure, and it's just so much money spent on
Yeah.
not getting top. If they
I
don't
agree.
get top 4,
To be fair, to
There's
their credit,
discussions to
I
be
thought they
had.
looked really good this weekend.
yeah,
in their
they're-
first game.
definitely.
I mean, yeah, but still, I mean, you're playing a Liverpool team who clearly is struggling without a 6 to play,
yeah,
and you still tied 1-1, and that game could have gone either way. Liverpool dominated a chunk of the first half, but then
Yeah.
obviously I think Chelsea settled in a little bit. You could clearly tell Liverpool are missing a 6, and so we'll see how it goes. I think it'll be interesting to see. What I'm confused is they're right about to get investigated for financial fair play over the last, I think it was 15 years under Abramovich, which they self-reported,
Yeah.
supposedly.
Yeah.
And now you have them spending another $1 billion. I know it's the long-term contracts and the way they're structured,
Yeah,
but
it's- yeah.
that seems like a bad loophole.
I saw something, and I think that what they're doing is they know that financial fair play is coming, so they're trying to use up as much of this money and like not waste these transfer windows because they know a fine and a ban's coming. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I also saw another like report saying that the way that Taboli is running the business, actually like their like net spend is actually not so crazy.
They've
Well,
been
they
doing
had
very
like
good
350
business, yeah.
mil
Leave
out
us, yeah.
before these signings, but still, I don't know. It just makes you think. And they're linked to. Well, they activated Elisa.
Elisa, yeah.
is release clause.
I
too.
think that's like they need a winger that can grab them some goals because right now they're not.
I
That's
think
their issue. They
Elisa's-
can't have.
Elisa could be
He's
that.
good, yeah. But yeah,
I mean, once you have Nkuku come back, that team's going to be, I think, pretty scary. My prediction of having them fall 6th might turn out very terrible, especially Liverpool in first.
Liverpool
We
first,
really,
nightmare
really
take,
need
nightmare
6.
take. Yeah, but
I just don't get how. I get the whole like, yeah, Chelsea's been good over the last couple of decades, but since 2019, you could say arguably the 3 top teams in Europe have been City,
Liverpool.
Madrid,
Liverpool.
and Liverpool.
Yeah,
I
no,
agree,
absolutely.
yeah.
I think,
And
it's
especially for Lavia, after you've seen Caicedo go to Chelsea, right? They obviously had put you on the back end because of that deal.
yeah,
How are you not going to guaranteed playing time at Liverpool when you might not start at Chelsea?
Yeah, that is interesting. I just think, I don't know, I feel like Liverpool are a little bit on the downward spiral, and you could argue that, like, we haven't seen it yet, but I think Chelsea will just continue to go.
I don't know, Chelsea's downward spiral last year.
I just find it's just so weird that players are choosing like teams that don't have any.
I think it's.
European
I also think
competition
I
whatsoever.
think
It's because of the contracts. Those 6, 7 to 10-year contracts that Chelsea are giving out now.
maybe, but also
for Casado, money was a huge thing. I mean, he mentioned that Arsenal. He wanted to play Arsenal.
Yeah, he wanted to play everywhere. He wanted to play everywhere.
Yeah, he didn't really care.
No,
He-
of course,
yeah.
but also like, for example, like Klopp is like at the end of his 7-year cycle, which is pretty. He might be leaving soon. Like, if he leaves, this Liverpool team is going to completely change. At least right now with Chelsea, obviously they're doing a complete rebrand of their team and like their.
I mean, yeah,
club.
new owners, new GM,
But like
new
they just
everything.
brought in a really good coach.
Yeah.
They have a ton of young players. I think that they're just like kind of a bunch of players, but I think that's why like it's kind of just open. Anyone can play there. It's like I think they're gonna.
No, I get that. I think, and Liverpool just lost their general manager
Yeah.
last year too. So I think Liverpool's first order of business, you have to ink a new deal with Klopp
Yeah.
to confirm and put down all those suspicions that he might leave. Because overall, you still have a relatively young core.
No, they're building.
Luis
it,
Diaz,
yeah.
Darwin Nunez, Gapco, Szoboszlai, McAllister.
Yeah.
Van Dijk isn't old. He's still
not
30,
for center
31.
back.
He's
For center
not
back,
bad.
no.
Konate's not old. Joe Gomez isn't old.
Allison,
Alisson's 30.
No,
Trent is 23, 24.
Yeah.
Robertson is 26, 27.
definitely.
You have a great core. I think they just need to figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they don't get a 6, it's going to be a nightmare of a
yeah.
season.
Who do you think their eyes are on to get for that 6th position? Anybody?
I heard something about them trying to go for Tuchemeni, but he already said no.
He said- and Madrid will never let him.
Never let him go. If anything, I think you have a better chance of signing Kamavinga than Tuchemeni.
Especially right now, like if they tried to buy, they would ask for like close
Yeah,
to
just after you had
$200
two
million. Like, are you kidding me?
CDMs
Like, yeah.
break the market.
For a player. who's
I
start-
think they might just roll with what they have and play Bozic at the 6. Or a combination of him and Thiago.
Might be a crazy shout, but I mean Tyler Adams, his deal fell through with Chelsea. I mean,
Yeah, but
he's
he's inked supposedly with Southampton now.
Yeah.
Bournemouth, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That would be honestly that'd be a really good signing for Liverpool
'Cause he's
because
25 million
and their
only, too.
other two players are like really good on the ball. You just need someone who like just
I think he-
cleans up.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
McAllister
that's-
and Szoboszlai impressed with overall play. Is just there's nothing you can do when you don't have any.
I thought
assists.
McAllister was a little average.
I
on
think
the
he's
weekend,
great on the ball.
week- Oh no! Overall, in general, I think he's a
Yeah,
good player.
yeah.
I'm talking about this last weekend. I don't think he was great.
He is okay.
Yeah,
but-
I think
but-
but I mean Tyler Adams but it seems like he's already going to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
But yeah, for 20 million, I mean that's pretty good. I mean
No.
he's out another 2 to 3 weeks.
He's
I
what,
think,
23,
with his
24?
injury.
He's
That'll
pretty
be
young.
That'll
yeah.
be a good for any like
He
mid-table
does
team.
have some injury problems. It seems like he's been kind of.
I mean, not really. He pretty much played the entire season last year and was out
He had
the
some
last
problems
6,
in
7.
Germany though. He had some,
Yeah, but-
some issues.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
So-
he'll be fine as long as he gets in with like a physio department that's good. I think he'll be okay. He's strong.
Yeah.
now, so yeah.
But yeah, anybody else you think Liverpool have their eyes on for that position?
I
It's like
honestly, I'm
might
done.
have to start the season without it. With
I'm done. I'm done
I
guessing
don't know.
who they're going to sign because they're probably not going
Yeah.
to sign anyone.
Don't tell Chelsea either. They'll go
Yeah,
down.
don't. Yeah, really.
Don't tell Chelsea.
Don't tell
Yeah.
anyone. Apparently, Elisa was linked to City too, and decided to
Yeah.
go to Chelsea as well, which
Yeah.
was crazy to me. He would have fit very well into that team, I think.
Oh yeah, he would have been perfect.
But
yeah.
I guess, all right, that kind of covers our weekly news in the footy world. Jumping to, I guess, the match week to start. I'd like to cover just best performances overall, team wise. Clay, what do you think was the best team performance you saw overall?
Newcastle really impressed me. Slotting 5 past Aston Villa, I think that was really impressive.
Yeah.
They played really well as a team. I mean, you just don't really see many weaknesses in their team right now.
Yeah.
That's my team of the week.
No, I
What
think
about you guys?
that I was gonna say the same thing. To me, I was really impressed on just how good they were overall.
Yeah.
Like Tonali seemed like he fit right in. Seemed like he'd been playing in the Prem for years. I think they've just really, really built a good team there, and they haven't really spent crazy amount of money either.
no.
Like
Not-
compared to other teams, and they have the funds to do it. So I think they'll be a good team. Next 3-4 years, you're gonna see some crazy stuff go down with them.
Isak, really good signing. 70 million. I mean, that's pretty.
Yeah, he
honestly
looked
very
great,
good for
too.
his- I mean, it's his second year. He's been phenomenal so far. I think a good bit of business. I would have loved Arsenal to hop on that 2 years back.
I mean, anyone would have loved for Isak to be on their team.
That's what happens, and Newcastle are doing very well. I mean, they got new owners. The money. I mean, they can just kind of buy whoever they want right now. But very good team.
Kaya, what about?
I have Newcastle across the board. I think because I mean they were. Yeah. That was like one of the better games I've seen in the Prem, honestly, in a while as well. Like that was just like a high level game.
Yeah, that first half was incredible.
Yeah, Newcastle. I think like I have them like on my predictions. I had them in fourth, but like I could like after that game, like genuinely, I think I can.
I could see them
third or
putting
second.
United. Well, I have United in fifth, but I could see them falling above United and Liverpool behind City, Arsenal.
I think like something they were missing was another like midfielder. And Tonali was like the perfect.
Him and Guimaraes is a crazy combo.
It usually takes like players some time, especially midfielders coming from other leagues, to like adjust. And he was like, that was one of the better performances I've seen from like a number 8 in the Prem, and I thought he was awesome. And I think he's just going to get better. I mean, scoring a goal like in your first game from that position, Isak was awesome. Like. Just buried 2 chances really easily. Yeah. And then their subs they brought. I think Barnes moving forward probably will slot in and probably move like soon.
Over Gordon?
I think so.
I think he's.
I think Gordon had a good shout, but I think Barnes will.
Honestly, Gordon played really, really well. I was like pretty surprised.
But even still, I still think Almiron and Barnes bring something better than him. Overall,
I think Barnes it just offers a little bit more like going in terms of goal scoring, and I think that's kind of sometimes what they lack is scoring goals.
Yeah. Definitely.
And so I think that will be like big for them.
Yeah.
Gordon like playing wise is like was very good though. But overall that was like a.
I guess I'll now jump into kind of player of the week. I mean, I just kind of covered it. For me, I had Tonali, just class performance, great debut, one of the best debuts I've seen in a minute. I think you could just tell he's by far the best player on that team, just automatically. I think Isak could be argued. He played great too, but Clay.
I have Isak for player of the week for me.
Yeah.
Phenomenal player. I mean, did very well, 2 goals. What about you, Clay?
I have Tonali. I think for me, honestly, Enzo was a second for me.
He played great.
And I've been like pretty critical of Enzo, but I thought in that game against Liverpool, he was just like by far like the best midfielder playing there, and like that was a game filled with some pretty good players. Yeah. So I think like he was amazing, but Tonali for me has to take it.
I kind of hate that Enzo is turning out well because I was a big advocate of him when Chelsea signed him.
Yeah,
you two were kind of against it. Yeah. I loved Enzo, but now I just can't root for them after they've just screwed Liverpool over. They don't need 3 CDMs.
They got that LFC midfield.
Yeah, seriously, we were linked to all 3 and lost out on all 3.
Yeah.
But I guess, and now that covers kind of our team and players. So let's go over to goal of the week. I think we're going to see a common denominator on all the all the teams we kind of picked. But there's just, for me, it's got to be, I'm in between Saka and Bowen. Very similar goals. I'm going to choose, I think, Bowen just because I see Saka do it more often.
That's fair.
I think you could go either way. Clay?
Yeah, I've gone Saka. Great goal. I mean, just slotted top corner past Matt Turner. I think great goal, What about you, Kai?
I have Saka as well. I just think, again, they were really similar goals. Yeah. I think Saka had to do a little bit more to get in that position. He kind of cut inside. There was a bunch of bodies in front of him, too.
That's very true.
And had a little bit less space. But, I mean, Bones was incredible. Maybe I'm wrong, but is he left-footed? I thought he was right-footed.
I don't think he is.
I thought he was right-footed.
I think he might be right-footed.
I'm not 100% sure, but honestly, if he's not left-footed, that's a crazy goal. So, but both are great, though. Yeah.
So our next segment, for our usual weekly podcast, we'll jump in. We'll go news, best performances of the week, and now we're going to jump into most disappointed performances, and then our team of the week. Most disappointed performances, I guess to start it off, for me, even though they won, I have to say United. I think the team that they have and the way they played was terrible. They just, again, we talked a little bit about this during our Prem predictions, but they're just lacking a striker very, very heavily. I don't think Rashford is built to be a straight-out 9. He's great on the wing, but they did win, so credit to them. They pulled out a victory, and that's what it takes to get top 4, but just the way they played didn't impress me at all.
Yeah. No. I mean, I agree with that completely. Like, they were just not good. I mean, that Wolves
They
team...
should have lost that game.
To be fair, though, like, we said Newcastle team of the week, like, I easily could have put Wolves,
Yeah,
even though they ended up
but
losing.
they lost. Yeah,
of course. It's hard to put them when they lose, but, like, that team played, like, incredible. They, like, I think every single one of those played, like, they deserve to win that game.
Yeah, Dawson, very good.
Cunha was,
Nunez,
like, crazy. Just
even Pedro Neto going forward, I thought all of them.
Yeah, Cunha was just dropping in midfield every time, turning, like, just beating 3 or 4 United players. Like, they were, pretty much every time he got on the ball, they were through on goal. And I just think
I thought Lamina played very well
awesome.
too. He was good.
Yeah.
They just are going to struggle to score goals. But United were. I just think they were really poor. That midfield of Mount, Casemiro,
is terrible.
Fernandez is not going to work.
It's just it literally ends up being you have 2 wingers on the left, 2 wingers on the right, a striker, and then Casemiro holding. And we said this on our predictions, but he seems like he's kind of falling off a cliff.
Yeah, his movement looks worse than like Busquets, but also doesn't have that technical ability. So he gives the ball away, and then he can't move to cover any space, which is like what he's known for. I just think it's gonna be difficult to play how they want to play like with that. And I also like Rashford was pretty disappointing. He like. I know he didn't get much service, but like I just don't think he fits as a number 9. Like he needs to play out wide, but then again, you can't play Garnacho or you can't play Antony. So I think Ten Hag has some stuff to like figure out because they look pretty bad.
Yeah, I think Garnacho. He didn't play super well yesterday, but I think he's one of their better wingers.
He's super dangerous.
I would bench Antony. I hate Antony.
Once Højlund comes in back from his injury, I think they'll be playing a lot better. I think Ten Hag has something up his sleeve to work with Højlund.
That's fair. I just think
but I don't know.
This midfield is just my biggest issue.
Because I thought Mount would be a good
But Mount,
signing,
the thing with Mount, he's not really a midfielder. I don't think he's ever been, and they always try to put him there. And
I feel like he's kind of just running around. Like he just runs around. He doesn't like tackle too much. He's kind of weak. And then like Fernandez, you have to let him do what he does.
Yeah, he has to float.
Creative. Yeah. But and like Casemiro used to be able to cover that ground, but he can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And like imagine if like those chances were given to a team like Newcastle, Arsenal. Like
they're burying those.
It's gonna be
Fabio Silva had literally like 7 shots in the span of 5 minutes. There.
Literally. So, not to mention that was a pen.
Yeah,
that was 100% a pen. Like
that's ridiculous.
I don't get how you.
I guess the only thing I could say is since the hit came right after the ball had already kind of been headed, and you could the ball was not dangerous anymore. But still, I agree. Should have been a pen.
And then to openly just like to cut all these refs. And
that was bad.
War room staff for the next week. Like that's just like you can't even give an apology at that point. Like that's 3 points that are so big to Wolves. Like like that was one of the best games I've seen Wolves play. So.
Yeah.
Clay, do you have United as your worst performance too, or most disappointing performance? I'd say
I had Aston Villa, but United's a pretty good shout.
Aston Villa's a good one too.
Going back to Wolves real quick, Gary O'Neill, I forgot that they brought him in. I don't know why Bournemouth had sacked him after last year. I thought that was a really weird decision.
Yeah.
I thought, but just going back to that game, I thought Gary O'Neill, set the team up very well for Wolves.
Definitely.
I thought it was a good game.
If they can like put that amount of like effort and like pressing and like the way that they're every single game, they're gonna like easily be in that middle table. Like they just need to score some goals. Like you can't win games without scoring. So like it's
definitely. So jumping over to kind of our next segment, or not next segment, but most disappointing performance player wise. Clay, who do you have?
I have Son. He was pretty poor.
Really?
Shocking! You have
shocking. You just hate Son.
Yeah.
Biggest Tottenham hater over here.
I mean, I think Son's going to really struggle this year, too, without Kane. I mean, that's a hot take.
I mean, they still tied 2-2 against Brentford, who's arguably going to be in that.
Yeah, but Son got subbed like what?
He conceded a penalty.
Yeah.
He got subbed very early. I just think he wasn't.
He did clap for the fans though before the game.
Yeah,
so
that's a huge thing. You gotta
captain duties.
That's kind of a common theme with Son. I feel like last year he didn't have a very good year. He was not great.
It's been going kind of downhill. Yeah,
I think he'll be good this year. I think just because they're just gonna have to find a way to play to his strengths now that Harry Kane is gone. Because you can't rely on Harry Kane pulling you out of every single game now.
Yeah.
And he is by far, well, maybe not by far, but he, I think, is their best player alongside with James Maddison. So you just got to find a way to make those two. Maybe James Maddison runs the show and Son's the end product, but Something's going to go, or that team's going to struggle all year long.
I hate to do this, but I kind of agree with Clay. I think Son. I don't really like Son either, but I do think he's going to struggle. Kane wasn't only their main guy; he was the focal point. He's their striker.
Definitely.
Everything was built through him. He had probably half of Son's goals came from Kane. I just think Son, on his own, is going to struggle a bit. And also, I don't think Richarlison's.
Well, I just think that
help there.
Also, I just think that wing back system that Tottenham has doesn't help Son at all. That makes him worse.
Gross system that shouldn't be played anymore. Really,
Chelsea's the only team that should play.
Or Atletico, and look how Atletico play.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
I
guess.
Yeah.
So you got Son. For Yuka, who do you got?
I had Rashford. I just think I was expecting him to come out again. He had a year under his belt with Ten Hag. He came out. I thought he was gonna have a really strong start. Honestly, I thought he was gonna grab 1 or 2 goals, especially against Wolves, who even though I thought they were gonna do pretty well this season, I thought United were gonna walk all over them in the first game, and he was really bad. I thought he was really bad, to be honest. And I get it doesn't help that he was playing up top, but I just think at some point you're gonna have to figure it out. You've been playing the Prem for a while now. You've had your most goals you've ever scored in one season last year. I just think that you just need to be a little bit better for your team. You need to be able to pull something out when your team is clearly struggling. It shouldn't have been Varane scoring the winning goal. It should be Rashford. So I thought he was a little bit.
Didn't track back at all. I mean, he doesn't always do that. I mean,
he was complaining a lot too. His attitude seemed pretty bad. Again, he's just frustrated because this team were just offering nothing for him going forward. But I just think in moments like that, you expect a player of his level to perform, and I just think he kind of was in the shadow a lot during the game.
Yeah. No, I mean, to be honest, I think my underwhelming or most disappointing performance for me being a Liverpool fan was Jota. I like Jota, but just the way they're misutilizing Gapco in that midfield when I think he played way better than him, and Jota came off essentially at half.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of a waste of a performance for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. And you have Salah and Luis Diaz both on the wing who are very, very dangerous, and Jota just can't figure out how to mend with them. I think he'll be fine. Last year he was pretty good when he played, so he just got to figure it out. But I know it's nothing crazy. I'm just very disappointed that Liverpool tied that game. I really thought we were going to come out and jump on Chelsea, especially after that first goal.
It was interesting. Yeah, I thought at the beginning because I was Chelsea.
Liverpool were kind of on.
Yeah,
Liverpool were playing well. That goal came. McAllister and Szoboszlai seemed to be kind of controlling that midfield. Obviously, great ball by McAllister out wide. Incredible touch by Salah. Ball in. Scored. Then you had that. Well, right before that, you had that solid crossbar too. So I really thought it was going to go in the bag, and then everything went terribly wrong.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was going to be a classic game of Chelsea had a bunch of chances, didn't score, which they kind of did. But I thought Liverpool were just going to on the counter just destroy them. But I do think that I guess it's an interesting start for Liverpool because they tied their first game, which isn't how they usually
start. Which they've tied the last 7 times with Chelsea.
And then 0-0 is the last 4 or 5.
Also, you then have Klopp bringing off Salah.
And Salah
was not happy about that. And then you get the rumors of him and Alisson, him interested. It's just kind of a hectic start for Liverpool, and then not getting any of those 2 center midfielders they need. It's interesting how they'll respond next week. I don't even remember who they're playing, but hopefully it's someone they can kind of walk all over, which they do in most teams. So
like I said, leads us to our final segment, our team of the week. So what we're going to be doing is Clay will be covering each position, and then Kai and I will kind of jump in.
Tell him where he's wrong.
Tell him where he's wrong. Tell him where he's right. Let Clay defend himself a little bit. And then following next week, we'll switch positions. I'll go, then Kyle will go, just to kind of keep it rotating and have a little bit of discussion there. But to start off, let's go keeper.
Yeah, so the keeper for me, Bert Leno, was incredible. 9 saves versus Everton the other day.
Yeah. Big win, too.
Yeah, and kept that little rat Neil Malachi out after he broke Leno's leg 2 years ago.
That's true.
So I think it was a bit of a revenge game for him. He didn't want him scoring at all. But 9 saves. He was incredible. But that's my keeper. Moving on to center back, I have Anderson from Crystal Palace. Was incredible.
Yeah.
Made some unreal tackles. A few balls through. He intercepted everything. I thought he was great.
Okay, who do you have at left center back?
Thiago Silva. I thought in the Liverpool game.
Interesting.
He was he was incredible. Controlled the game, I thought.
What about
swinging around the back?
Kai, thoughts on those two center backs? I mean, keeper, I think that's a very valid.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't say much with 9 saves, clean sheet, and a win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and again, I
can't say
think
much on
Everton
that.
are just going to struggle to score goals. So that,
Yeah.
But no, I thought. I mean, I can't. It's hard to argue with those. I think Thiago Silva was really, really good. I think.
Yeah, but he's so protected in that 3-back.
Yeah, and
He doesn't
Cole.
really have to
I
do
thought
it.
Cole was like he pretty much had to man mark Saul that whole game.
Yeah.
I think if you give it to any Chelsea center back, I would have given it to
He's
him
very
personally.
good. Yeah.
But at the same time, like every time I watch Thiago Silva play, it's like this guy's like he's 38.
Yeah, but that's because he doesn't have to defend anymore.
I don't know.
He's a sweeper.
It's just hard for me to like bet against him and like say he can't. But at the same
I don't know.
time,
I
I think there were a lot of center backs that were really good this weekend.
Yeah.
But I would have put Cole if I had to pick a Chelsea player personally.
Yeah,
I
honestly, all 3 center backs I thought for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Diassi,
I mean, he scored, and
yeah.
he was also really good.
I-
I just think
Yeah.
Cole had to defend Salah, like
It's the
literally
harder,
pretty much
yeah,
one-on-one.
hardest.
Chilwell was playing like striker
Chilwell was
left
chilling
wing.
at the left.
Like
Yeah, that was
I just think that
ridiculous.
he had to cover so much for him. And after that little mishap that ended up in the goal that was called off sides, besides that he was like didn't put a foot wrong. So I would have put him personally, but again, Thiago Silva, I get it. He's a little bit protected, but he's class.
If I were to throw someone in there, might be. You all might think I'm biased again, but I think Van Dijk had a quality performance. They got literally murdered
way.
for 90-something% of the
I
game.
thought he was
He was
all
actually
right.
pretty good.
And he played very, very well on the ball, commanding that box. I think you could just tell when Nico Jackson was going against Konate and Van Dijk is just clearly world class.
I agree, but Nico Jackson gave them both some trouble. Like
just because of his pace, mostly pace.
He's strong too.
Yeah.
They struggled a bit. I thought Van Dijk was, but he was. One thing I liked about Van Dijk's performance this weekend was that I feel like he went into a lot more tackles than he usually does. I feel like usually he's a little bit reserved.
Yeah,
and his
shepherding,
yeah, exactly.
almost always,
But I
yeah.
feel like this weekend he had to because of the way Nico Jackson plays.
Yeah.
He was good, but again,
And I think the team we haven't said once, both center backs I thought played amazing was Brighton. Very commanding game, easy game for them, easy win, played well overall. Even though they lost essentially their whole team over the last year, but yeah, I think
Van Hecke was very good.
He
was very good.
signing.
I just
Yeah,
feel like
Dutch
they,
player, yeah.
they weren't
Yeah.
tested a ton.
That's
so I feel
fair.
like it's hard to
that's
like.
fair. I mean, you could say the same with
Same
City, obviously.
thing with City.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
keep a clean sheet, but like
But they really just dominated that whole.
no, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Even
I thought
think City played very well.
the two Newcastle center backs did pretty well. That first half was a very
Yeah.
open game, honestly, and then Newcastle just took over. So
Yeah.
that's why I
Well-
don't have them in contention. But so just to recap, so ultimately your two center backs were
Anderson from Crystal Palace, and then Silva at left center back.
okay. Now let's go to the outside backs. I guess starting right back.
Yeah, so we're going Wan-Bissaka. I mean, the one thing he doesn't do very well, get forward and cross.
yeah,
He
assist.
can't really. But I mean, yesterday he played a pretty good ball to Varane. He gets on the end of it. I thought Wan-Bissaka was the best right back out of the weekend. I mean, you could maybe shout Trippier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few other, but I thought he was the best. I mean, defensively, he doesn't get beat really.
Yeah, he's very good
But
defensively.
yeah, that's his
so
one.
bad
That's his one
offensively.
thing.
Going forward, though, he looks like a baby giraffe. Like literally every time he goes to make a pass, he's like falling. And this last weekend, like it happened to work, and I thought he played really well. And again, I'm pretty critical of him usually.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He was good. I also think Trippier was good. I also thought Semedo played really, really well this weekend. But again, it's tough to give they lost. But I thought he was really, really good going forward and defensively, having to deal with Garnacho and Rashford at times.
Yeah, that's fair.
But we can give it to Wan-Bissaka, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm
I
fine
guess.
with that.
I guess.
Let's jump left back. So we'll give you 2 out of 4 so far.
2 out of 4.
left back,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll take that. So we got Stupinian, Brighton left back.
Not much to say. I think
Got an
just
assist. I mean,
incredible.
he's good on either side of the ball. You know,
This
he's
guy
very-
runs like
Yeah, he's incredible.
just up. He has to run the most in the Prem. There's no way he doesn't.
Yeah, he's just so
everywhere.
Literally.
He's so underrated. I
He
mean, I feel like people don't really talk about him. I mean, yeah, he's just a great left back, and I wouldn't be surprised if a team came in pretty soon and bid for him, and went to a top 6 team even.
I mean, I agree with that. Not much to say from my end.
We'll take him at City.
Yeah.
All right, Clay. 3 for 5 so far.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
I honestly though, I do like. I think Chilwell gets a shout there. I thought Chilwell was like amazing.
Yeah,
in
but
the game.
it's easier to play when you don't have to defend.
I agree, but it's not like Brighton or Test. It's not like he's
That's
defending
fair.
either. Like I think
All
they're
right.
both. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
I agree with your thing. So.
I agree with the stupid as well. I just want to
All
make
right,
sure that
let's- yeah.
Chilwell gets a
Yeah,
shout
that's
there.
fair.
I think that was really good.
All right, who do you have? What formation are we playing? A 4-2-3-1?
Yeah, it's a 4-2-3-1.
All right, who do you have in
but
midfield?
This is where you guys are going to start to,
This is might be the worst take of the whole podcast, genuinely.
I mean, I thought Pascal Gross was incredible. I mean, he did everything. He was good going forward.
Yeah, you might as well be playing against scrubs.
Yeah. I can't
think
with Gross, bro.
8 key passes, like 2 big chances created, intercepting. I mean, he tracks back. I think he's also, it's going to be another shout, underrated player. It's just, I feel like the Brighton team,
they do get underrated
they go
every
under
year.
the radar.
They do.
And-
Okay, that's fair. But
you could definitely argue Tonali there. I also agree.
Tonali, wherever you have Tonali, he should be in the team of the week. And there's no way you can say that Gross was better than him. There's no way.
I think he was.
Tonali, they played a better team.
I agree.
You can
He
say
scored
the
a goal in
better
his
team.
first, and
You
he
can say the better
also
team.
put the ball in for the second.
No,
goal.
that's
that ball. He on that second goal was like.
All right, so kind of got Tonali. Your Gross is overruled.
Yeah. Well,
Who else did you have in there?
Who
else did you have?
It has to be. It has
I think
to be.
I think you guys gotta watch him again.
All right, who else? Come on, who's the next one?
He's incredible.
All right,
Yeah,
on
you
with your
guys-
next one because we can't.
No.
All right, next one. Come
All
on.
right, Rodri. We got Rodri. I think
I'll give you
that's
that one.
fair.
He's just
You
class.
might as well just put Rodri in for the rest of the week.
Yeah, seriously.
Because this
Yeah.
guy.
This guy's
What
too
do you have?
good.
Like 106
There's
passes,
just not much to say. Like
97% pass accuracy, a goal.
he just makes that team tick. That's done.
Yeah, he.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right, move on.
Is
What's the next
might
one?
be the most important player.
Yeah, and then I had Enzo as the backup. I mean, I thought he was also good.
I think
we're
Tonali and Roger got to take it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair.
I would put Enzo ahead of Gross just so we're clear.
So we're clear.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you're talking
All
about
right.
a player that did everything for their team and they both didn't have any stats, so like you can just like look at just on that.
I think Gross was.
I think-
but you
I
can
think
say
we got-
quality of team, which you did mention. I mean, the quality of the team
you're
that they
putting
both
Liverpool.
played. It's like it is a big
That's true.
difference. So
Yeah.
I guess I'm a little biased. I
We're
don't know.
splitting hairs here. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we
we'll go
really
on,
are.
We'll go on to
So I
left
guess
winger.
we'll give you one of those two. So you're what, 4 for 7 right now?
Wait,
4
no.
for 7.
What about your attack? Did you do attacking midfield already?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we can move on. So yeah,
across.
attack.
Who do you
So I have Eze. I mean Madison.
This guy.
Madison also, but I think Eze was great. I mean, he filled in.
He was pretty good.
He
to be
filled
fair.
into the Elise role. I mean, he was whipping balls in. I mean, off of free kicks. I mean, he was super dangerous. Played in like 2 or 3 balls to Anderson and Gaye, the center back on Crystal Palace. I thought he was very good. I mean, the way he carries the ball and like goes forward. I mean, you can't really stop him. They had to foul him almost every time going forward. Very
That's fair.
dangerous. I mean, you could say the fact that he didn't have a goal or an assist. I just thought he was very dangerous. Opened the game up really well. Spread the ball. I mean,
Okay. Well, I think
Okay,
at least
I'll allow
the
it,
Sixers
I'll
are good
allow
as
it.
well. But I just think
I'll
like,
accept that.
as an
They
attacking
did win.
midfielder, like Madison with
He
2
did
He
assists.
not.
was everywhere.
He was everywhere. Like
He
that
was
ball,
very
that ball in that first goal. Like you couldn't have played it better.
see, that's also fair. Yeah, Madison's my backup. I mean, 2 assists. I mean, you could put him over. I just went Eze.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
mean, okay. Well, yeah.
We'll allow that. All right, no, we'll give you Eze.
No.
We'll
All right, we'll give you Eze. Jump on.
I
Let's
honestly
go.
missed
Let's go
that
right.
game anyway, so
Let's go right wing. Who do you got?
So I put Saka. I thought he was very good.
I mean,
scored a goal.
I think we'll see him a lot on these team of the
I
week.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tracked
Not
back
much more to
incredibly
say.
well. I mean, I feel like Martinelli and Saka, like both of them, they track back just like.
I feel
it's
like
crazy how much.
usually if you get the goal of the week, you should probably get the
Probably you should be on the team. of the week.
especially if you
Especially
win.
if you win.
Yeah.
I agree.
And, I mean,
I'll give him that.
he's another one. He could always be on
Yeah.
the right side.
All right, let's
That's
leave
very true.
Saka in there. So now we're off to the left one.
And
Who
this
do you
is gonna-
got?
This is gonna be a hot take. So I have Harvey Barnes in there.
No.
Only played 20 minutes. But you can argue he played.
This is the last time you're doing team of the week, right?
No.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think this is pretty fair. I mean, played 20 minutes, goal and assist.
I don't know.
I honestly think he was better than Gordon when he played.
No.
I think he was.
No, wait. Okay. he was more dangerous maybe than Gordon, but Gordon gave so much. Gordon, first of all,
Gordon
got fouled, I think.
destroyed Cash.
Gordon turned into Grealish. He got fouled like 20 times that game.
No,
he
really
was so
did.
good on the ball.
Yeah.
And
I
like
agree.
Barnes came in scoring out the assist, but by that time the game was over. They were playing with 2 in the back almost. I just think like it's hard. It's hard to give someone, for me, a team of the week when you play only 20 minutes. And Grant, again, like it's not like he won them the game. They were already it was 3-1 up when he came in.
Barnes, it was 3-1.
Like I just feel like it's hard. And Gordon, I thought was really, really good. Again, like he scored goal.
It is hard.
So
it is hard to put a player with only 20 minutes, like 25 minutes in a game. But I mean, that was my choice. You could also say Matoma.
That's who I would. That's who I would
really,
say.
I thought he was kind of average for.
I thought he was very good.
I thought he was kind of. I didn't like.
Didn't really lose the ball.
But like usually, like what he's known for is 1-on-1, and like I feel like he
people
couldn't.
on,
He couldn't beat their right back very often.
That's fair.
Like, and for his quality, I didn't think he was bad, but I just think that for a player like that, like I think I expect a little bit more from him. He got the assist, obviously, really good ball in, but I think he was lacking a little bit, honestly. I think it should be Gordon, but I just think he played really well.
Gordon, yeah.
I think I agree with Gordon there. So, Clay, that's another miss.
I mean,
Another miss.
It's
surely you got a striker locked in here. Who do you got?
I already took Isaac.
No. Who do you got? Who do you got written on there?
Who's on that piece of paper?
I have Holland. I think great goal.
I mean, he scored 2 goals.
It's close to goals. It's hard to argue. See, that's it's hard. But like, if
Isak got gifted one.
But so did Isak. But that finish, how class is that finish?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
What about Holland's second goal though?
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
Barnes,
true. But then,
class.
like, okay, so then if the stats are the same, 2-2, you have to then look how they play. Holland touched the ball 9 times probably the whole game, like usual. And I didn't think he was super effective. I didn't think City played great, to be honest. I didn't think he was super...
need to. The game was over 20 minutes in.
I just don't think he was, like, super effective. I just think Isak played better. Like,
I think we should have just gotten rid of a 10 here and gone a 4-4-2 with Isak and Holland up top.
That would have been okay.
That's on Clay, though.
Yeah. And completely get rid of that attacking midfielder.
Yeah, get him out of there.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Get out of there.
Look on Sofa's score. I made this before they did. It's pretty much the exact.
You made it
same.
after them. You said you copied them.
After
No, before.
Oh, you sure?
Before.
I mean,
right.
it's a
Before.
good team. It's a good team. It's hard to argue. Well, again, like Holland, like those are people you can argue that like it's hard to argue.
Hey, look up. I mean, the big sites. They're saying Eze. That's what I'm just saying.
Okay.
I feel like these aren't crazy shouts.
All right, that's
I
fair.
agree that.
I just feel like your criteria is awful. But like Eze, you have because he played so well. Holland, you have because of the stats. You gotta there's got to be some.
Well, I said
symmetry.
I took Isaac.
No, who do you have in there?
For who?
Also,
striker.
didn't you
Oh,
put,
whatever.
didn't you put player performance of the week? Didn't you put Isak? So he has to be.
So
in your
you
team. He has to be in your
contradicted
team.
yourself.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is because I already picked him. I'm choosing.
Oh,
switching.
okay. We'll allow you. We'll allow that. That's fair.
Okay, so it's Isak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll put up a graphic to see what it started with and how it actually ended based off of Kai's and I
based off of our votes,
reviews. But I think you
vetoes.
hit what, around just over half, right? 6 out of the 11.
I think. Yeah. I mean, you guys didn't really disagree too much on the center back.
No, the center back.
I chalked the center back.
He chalked them.
I chalked them.
I think you can't go wrong with them. I think again, if you were to pick a center back from Chelsea, I think you went with the wrong one.
I agree. I picked Cole, so that's 2v1.
It was a good team of the week though. First team of the week, I think it was good.
First team of the week.
It was good.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I think that pretty
I'll
much.
take that.
I think that pretty much covers everything. Again, we'll have the team of the week up here so you guys can see it.
Yeah.
But as always, we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Please like and subscribe. Leave us any feedback if you guys want to listen to anything differently. We'll also be coming in hopefully with a new episode on the other leagues as well to cover a little bit more of the Bundesliga, the Serie A, the Italian league, the Serie A, the French league, etc. Just so you guys can kind of keep track of that La Liga as well. But yeah, thanks as always and have a great week.